In Revelation 21:1, it says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. Have you ever wondered why most of the earth is covered with salt water? Oceans and seas, which are salty. Why not fresh water? The majority of the surface of the earth is actually oceans and seas, not lakes and rivers. So why the oceans will be no more when we live in the New Jerusalem? The sea was no more. Why? That seems to be a little bit of a pity, because who doesn't like to be on the ocean? We all love going to the beach. There's something special about the seas, the ocean. Somehow they are more appealing to us, more appealing than the rivers and lakes. I believe it's our sinful nature which attracts us to the seas. Let me explain. When God created the world, it was all water. The whole earth was covered with water. Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. That expression, without form and void, is TOHU VA BOHU in Hebrew. It's here in Genesis 1, that's one time, and it occurs only one more time in the Bible, and it's in Jeremiah. And it's in context of a war, judgment, and destruction. TOHU VA BOHU is the result of judgment and destruction, not an introductory stage of creation. The earth was without form and void not because it wasn't shaped yet, but because something horrible happened that interrupted the creation and caused enormous damage. It happened because God judged the devil. When God created the earth, the devil wanted to destroy it right away because he knew God's plan. He knew there would be people created to live on earth, and we will inherit the earth, and the devil was jealous and wanted to thwart God's plan. And regardless of how long this war with the devil lasted, it led to the devil losing and running. The devil had to run, and he went into the deep, deep waters, which were at the time covering the whole earth. And the Holy Spirit, chasing the devil, hovered over the waters, and the devil hid in the ocean, in the dark, deep waters. He established his throne at the bottom of the deep. And that's why when the beast comes to rule the earth, he will come from the sea. Revelation 13:1, I saw a beast rising out of the sea, with 10 horns and 7 heads. The devil has a throne in the sea. Since the very beginning, the waters became contaminated with unclean satanic presence. And that's why we're all drawn to the sea, like we are drawn to sin. That's why the sea is more appealing than a lake. So God had to cleanse the deep ocean, making it all salty. Because salt cleanses, salt purifies, and more than that, salt makes it acceptable to God. It's in Leviticus. You shall season all your offerings and sacrifices with salt. Exodus 30:35. Make an incense seasoned with salt, pure and holy. Psalm 107. He turns rivers into a desert, fruitful land into a salty waste because of the evil of its inhabitants. The devil is an inhabitant of the oceans. And that's why all these waters, which we called oceans and seas, had to be made salty. God poured out an incredible amount of salt into those waters to make them acceptable, as every sacrifice is made acceptable by salt. Look at the example of Sodom and Gomorrah, one of the most sinful places on earth. After God judged the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah, he purified the whole area, changing it from being lush green to covered with salt. It was green before. Genesis 13:10. Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that the Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the Garden of Eden, like the land of Egypt in the direction of Zoar. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Today, the Dead Sea is the most salty body of water on earth. And today we're still attracted to oceans and seas so much because as broken humans, we have a propensity for sin. Because though cleansed with salt, there is still a residual of Satan's presence in the oceans. And that's why in Revelation it says there will be no more sea. In the new heaven and new earth, the sea was no more. There will still be bodies of water on earth, lakes and rivers, and maybe even those vast oceans as well, but there will be no salt in those waters. Because after the millennium, the devil will be destroyed. His throne in the sea will be no more. No more salty seas. They will not need to be purified by salt, because the world will be pure.